Hello and welcome to the program. This edition of Newsroom series covering Nigeria's Northeast. I am Bukola Koka. But first, let's start with the top stories. The leadership of the House of Representatives has been touring the 650,000 barrel per day Dangote petroleum refinery in the Lekki area of Lagos State. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Tajuddin Abbas, who led the lawmakers to the facility where they were received by the president of the group, Mr. Aliko Dangote, and top executives of the refinery. The visit marks the second time federal lawmakers will visit the refinery in 2 months. It also comes at a crucial time for the refinery as it is scheduled to start the supply of petrol next month, while also battling what it says are attempts by international oil companies to frustrate its access to crude oil needed for production. In June, Senate President Godswill Akpabio led the leadership of the Senate on a tour of the refinery, praising the project and pledging support for it. And now to Bauchi State, where the House of Representatives Committee on Northeast Development Commission is also visiting to advocate for additional funding from alternative sources to enable the commission execute more projects. During an oversight visit, Honorable Usman Zana, who is the House Committee Chairman, emphasized that the Commission is effectively distributing projects across the region, countering suggestions of biased project allocation. Hajira Aliyu now reports.
The House of Representatives Committee on Northeast Development Commission commenced its oversight activities in Bauchi State with inspections of key infrastructure projects. Led by the chairman, Honorable Usman Zanna, the committee visits the construction site of the 53-kilometer Kirfi-Gombe Abba Road and observed reconstruction efforts on 3 bridges along the Bauchi-Gombe Highway as the contractors briefs the team on the progress. Moving to the ATBU Teaching Hospital in Bauchi, the committee inspects the newly constructed Medical Emergency Center, receiving updates from consultants on the ongoing construction of the Institute of Ophthalmology Complex.
The upper floor gives importance to academics as it's a teaching hospital. We have teaching rooms, professor's office, e-library, seminar rooms.
Next up is the mega school project designed to combat the issue of out-of-school children. The managing director highlights the project's sustainability measures.
We're going to hand over to the state government, and we're going to put in place certain strategy and how this project will be maintained, not only here, all across Northeast. So there may be some kind of an MOU between us and the state government. If there is need for us to come again to intervene, we should do that.
Chairman of the committee expresses satisfaction in the NEDC's equitable distribution of projects across the region.
I will urge the MD and the management team of NEDC to collaborate with the House to look for more funding outside the government revenue that is coming. We have to think outside the box. We go and look for more funding from the United Nations and other agencies of government.
Other project sites visited included the NEDC staff office and the Twin Theatre project at the Federal Polytechnic Bauchi. Hajira Aliyu, Channels Television News.
Governor Inuwa Yahaya has flagged off the desilting of major storm drainages across various parts of Gombe State to prevent the yearly occurrence of flooding, often leaving massive destruction of lives and property in its wake. The governor ordered the desilting of drainages spanning 23 kilometers in the first phase, with the Northeast Development Commission collaborating to desilt 60 more kilometers to free up drainages clogged by indiscriminate littering with waste, often causing life-threatening deluge. The governor also laid the foundation for the construction of waste collection centers, and by this empowers the youths to recycle waste to wealth.
The Inuwa Yahya-led government in Gombe State is deploying assets and forming partnerships with various agencies to desilt drainage networks spanning 83 kilometers across the state. This is one of the measures the state is working on to minimize effects of yearly flooding, which brings with it internal displacements, losses and humanitarian crisis.
The purpose of today's event is to officially declare the commencement of cleaning and clearing major water channels so as to ensure the free flow of rainfall. This initiative is critical to averting flooding and ensuring the protection of human lives, property, and infrastructure.
While drumming support towards protecting the environment, Governor Inuwa Yahya lays foundations for 21 waste collection centers, in addition to the 90 already in existence, while encouraging youths to recycle waste into wealth.
I would like to call on individuals and communities to desist from dumping solid municipal waste in the storm drainage system. We must learn from the flood disasters being witnessed in other parts of the country and take proactive steps to avoid similar occurrences in Gombe State. It is worthy to note that a total of 13 major storm drains in Gombe metropolis have been desilted so far, which covers 32 hectares of land, and the potential floodable areas protected as a result of this exercise is going to be 66.8 hectares of land in Gombe metropolis alone.
Aside strengthening commitments to conserving the environment since coming into power in 2019, the move will also save residents from outbreak of diseases such as cholera.
The ministry wants to appreciate His Excellency for the cleaning of the streets, the silting of the drainages and evacuation of collection centers daily in the metropolis, which has made the state the most clean state in the northeast of Nigeria. The ministry wishes to commend and appreciate His Excellency for approving the introduction of the monthly sanitation exercise in the state. This has come at no better time than now. The outbreak of the cholera in many states can be coped with this exercise.
Speaking in Hausa language, Gombe State Akresal Project Coordinator Ambassador Sani Jauro describes Governor Inuwa Yahya as the green governor who has demonstrated determination and flair for environment protection by taking on the fixing and reversal of the rapid encroachment of over 200 giant active gullies in Gombe State. As environmental protection partners and agencies in the state team up to save the state from preventable ecological related losses, Gombe State continues its forward march towards becoming the environmentally safest and cleanest city in Africa.
The Emir of Muri Emirate and the Mumuye ethnic group are engaged in a war of words over claims on who owns a farmland in Kachala community of Ardokola local government area of Taraba state. The Emir of Muri Emirate, Abbas Tafida, insists that the parcels of land belongs to him and the claims by the Mumuye youths is false, baseless, and an attempt to incite crisis between the Mumuye and Fulani ethnic groups in the state. This farmland, located in Kachala village of Ardo Kola local government area of Taraba state, has become the bone of contention between youths of Mumuye ethnic group and the Emir of Muri Emirate. The land, according to the youths, is usually leased to them by the Emir of Muri through his farm manager for cultivation yearly. But things took a different twist when they planted for this year's rain-feed farming season, only for it to be uprooted, cleared, and a different crop planted.
These residents had already paid for their leases on their land to one Umaru Kona, the farm manager of the Emir of Muri, and invested in their farms. Without prior negotiation or compensation, the Emir brought in tractors to destroy their crops. Furthermore, we demand the following. 1. An immediate compensation for the farmers whose crops were destroyed. 2. A formal apology from the Emir, Abbas Tafida, to the Mumuye stakeholders and the affected farmers.
Farmers from the said community claim the emir sent security agencies to arrest them for an offence they are not aware of as they present the sale agreement documents.
I
want government to intervene in this matter, as it is now more than what we ever imagined. Some of my community members are still missing. Our father sold out some portions of the land to the emir in the year 2000 at the rate of 135,000 naira. But where the emir is claiming to be his does not belong to him, as his portion did not cut across that side. I left home since around 7 p.m. due to the threats to my life. 5 of us that the farmland was leased to are now being targeted. For more than 20 years, we have been paying for the leased farmland to one Umaru Kona. This is the third time that such injustice is being meted out on us, but this is the worst, as we have lost more than 2.5 million naira.
Responding to the allegations, the Emir of Muri, Abbas Tafida, speaking through some of his subjects, describes the allegations as baseless and issues a 7-day ultimatum to the group to withdraw their statement and apologize to him or face a legal battle.
We want to use this medium to call on the security agencies. Since they have been talking about peace, they don't want crime, they don't want this, they don't want that. So we are appealing to them to also call Ezekiel Hamagabdo Augustine to order. We felt that for him now to behave in an awkward manner and openly ridicule His Royal Highness, that one we will not tolerate.
In the meantime, the Taraba state government is suing for peace.
When there are two sides to an issue, it's good that government look at both sides, which government is doing very well. So our own is that until we find some kind of amicable resolution, the two sides should know that we're all brothers and sisters. I'm sure in the coming weeks there'll be more efforts towards a peaceful resolution.
Currently, fingers are crossed that a resolution will be brokered by the state government in order to ensure that peace reigns in the land. You're watching Newsroom series on Channels Television, and still to come, after years of Boko Haram insurgency, the Yobe state government, under the leadership of May Malabuni, launches an ethical reorientation campaign. That story and more will come your way after this time out. Join us again. Welcome back. After years of Boko Haram insurgency, the Yobe state government, under the leadership of May Malabuni, has launched an ethical reorientation campaign to restore morality and ethical values across communities in the state. While launching the campaign in Damaturu, the state capital, Governor May Malabuni blamed the proliferation of hard drugs as the major factors leading to immorality and crime in the society. The governor directed the security agencies to henceforth arrest all the perpetrators of the act, regardless of their status.
Displacements resulting from Boko Haram conflict over the years had forced many children to grow up as orphans on the streets or in internally displaced camps, where they lose ethical practices and values. Economic hardship has also contributed to poor parenting, as some of the children are forced to learn survival skills, making them vulnerable to social vices. The Yobe state government, through its Ministry of Religious Affairs, is launching an ethical reorientation among communities to restore these societal values.
It is in view of the above, the ministry is embarking on rigorous, extensive ethical orientation, codenamed Operation Jara Hali. The ministry has designed an elaborate program and policies to ensure total reformation and orientation of our youth population to conform with our ethical values and norms of peaceful coexistence, which will bring about social economic growth and development.
Governor Mai Malabuni, who personally launched the exercise, explained that illicit drugs taking is the major contributor of moral decay in the society, saying all hands must be on deck, directing all security agencies to arrest all perpetrators regardless of their status.
The increasing consumption of illicit substances, especially drugs, is quite worrisome and calls for immediate and strategic action to stem the growing tide to save our communities, state, and country. It therefore becomes eminent for all stakeholders, including the government, traditional rulers, religious leaders, parents, and guardians, to join hands with the security agencies in the war against illicit substances and drugs. Most crimes are tied to drug consumption. Therefore, parents should expose their wards, engage in drug-related activities rather than shield them, for us to have a sane and productive youth and future.
And your contribution to implementation.
At the end of the program, some traditional rulers, former and serving local government council chairmen, as well as other stakeholders were honored for contributing positively to ethical values.
But I am very happy with the Yobe State government, more especially His Excellency the Executive Governor of Yobe State, Honorable Mai Malabuni, for awarding me today.
Even if I'm not in the council, I can still continue to contribute my quota in strengthening the Sharia program and ethical reorientation to the youths coming up.
Yobe, a state in the northeast, is recovering from a conflict exposing the youths to illicit drugs and other dangerous vices, a situation considered a ticking time bomb that the state is working hard to defuse.
Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno is urging residents of the state not to join the proposed nationwide protest on the standard of living in the country. Professor Zulum made the plea during a town hall at the government house in Maiduguri, the state capital. The governor believes the state cannot afford to compromise the peace after years of insecurity. Already, the State Police Command has arrested a suspect over an alleged plot to mobilize residents of the state for the protest.
I stand before you today at a crucial moment for our beloved Borno State. Over the years, we have faced numerous challenges, from insurgency to economic hardships. Despite these obstacles, we have witnessed a gradual return of peace and stability. This progress is a testament to the resilience and collective efforts of every citizen, leader, and organization within our community. However, the proposed mass protest threatens to undermine this hard-won progress, and it is imperative that we consider the potential consequences carefully. While the right to protest is fundamental in a democracy, we must acknowledge the high likelihood of such actions being manipulated by anarchists and enemies of peace. These elements thrive on chaos and discord, seeking to derail our collective efforts and exploit our vulnerabilities. Such manipulation could lead to violence, property destruction, and a setback in the progress we have painstakingly achieved.
Gunmen suspected to be bandits have ambushed and killed the Chief of Church and G, His Royal Highness Alhaji Tanimu Gumbiya, and his son Yusuf Tanimu. The incident happened on Friday evening when the traditional ruler and his son were returning from a funeral in Takum. A press statement issued by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Media and Digital Communication, Mr. Emmanuel Bello, says the Governor received with deep sadness news of the death of the traditional ruler and his son. The Governor describes as tragic the manner in which the late revered monarch was hacked down. According to the statement, the Governor has since ordered the security agents to immediately investigate the circumstances and go after the perpetrators of the heinous crime, insisting that everyone involved must be brought to justice as soon as possible. The Governor, while suing for calm from Takum residents, said he would leave no stone unturned to fetch out the criminals and bring them to justice in the shortest possible time. The police anti-bomb squad in Borno State have deactivated an improvised explosive device planted near a primary healthcare center in the Maiduguri metropolis. The IED was discovered by residents around the Mala Kachala General Hospital Federal Low-Cost Housing Area along Baga Road at about midnight. The source of the bomb is yet to be established. About a week ago, another IED was found planted at Zajeri Primary School, also on Baga Road. This comes a month after multiple explosions killed 36 people in Gwaza town and a day after the military raised the alarm on the increased use of IEDs by Boko Haram terrorists to cause havoc. More on security now. The Northeast Joint Task Force Operation Hadinkai has rewarded 3 personnel of the Nigeria Army who have distinguished themselves in the ongoing counterinsurgency operations in the region. The soldiers got a 3-bedroom housing apartment each in Abuja. Presenting the house documents to the awardees at an event to mark the end of Operation Desert Sanity in Maiduguri, the theatre commander says the 3 soldiers' strategic contributions and doggedness led to the success of the operations.
The Northeast Joint Task Force has brought to an end Operation Desert Sanity after 3 months of clearance in the Northeast general areas where several insurgents were neutralized, abducted persons rescued, and arms and ammunition recovered. To wind down Desert Sanity, the Theatre Command organized activities including a durbar and a dinner to celebrate the troops for their bravery during the operation.
One of the key highlights of this event was the presentation of the offer letters to the 3 beneficiaries from the theatre on the affordable housing ownership option for soldiers. 3 of our soldiers from the theatre benefited from this laudable initiative by the Chief of Army Staff. To this end, we presented their letters and offers to them for the 3-bedroom flats. So each of these soldiers that were presented have been had a 3-bedroom flat offer letters.
Also, Sector 1 of the Northeast Task Force Operation Hadinkai flagged off a training and sensitization campaign for troops and other security agencies on the threats of improvised explosive devices to the society. According to the commander, Sector 1 and Acting GOC 7 Division, May Malari Cantonment, terrorists have resorted to the use of IEDs to heighten insecurity in the Northeast region.
Terrorists within the Northeast have increasingly turned to the employment of improvised explosive devices as their weapon of choice, thereby posing significant threats to safety of lives and properties. The menace of these devices has unfortunately remained despite concerted effort by all stakeholders. This underscores the importance of continuous awareness campaign. Therefore, it is pertinent to leave no stone unturned and become more ingenious in defeating this menace.
Although the Army also suffered casualties in the operation, it rates Desert Sanity a success, considering the gains recorded against the insurgents.
And that's it on the program for today. Thank you for watching. Join us again same time next week. We'll bring you another round of editions covering different regions. I am Bukola Koka. Bye for now.